What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name After Sound, and I did put out a new song recently called Run, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's talk about SPS, and I actually mentioned this on a recent live stream, but I thought it'd be good to make a video about it as well, just because, I've done a lot of live streams, that stuff gets buried, and I know not everybody watches the live streams. And so the basic concept was what my expectations are for a massive SPS pump this year, or the two main catalysts I think that could provide that in 2025. So this is not financial advice. This is, I guess, a semi-prediction of the pumps, but not like a price prediction, but just the catalyst that will cause this. And one of which is guaranteed, in my opinion. The other of which is very much dependent on the rest of the marketplace. But I do think that they're going to come in a certain order, and we'll see how this all plays out. So let's take a look at where SPS is right now, and you can see we're at 0.71, which is just really sad considering that we were over a penny. We couldn't hold it, even though Bitcoin is back above 100K. The rest of the altcoins are struggling, which I guess we're right there with it. But the whole reason that this kind of came about for me was because it made me realize once again that we are decoupled from Bitcoin, and maybe not decoupled from the rest of the marketplace, but it's just funny because it's like, Bitcoin goes down and SPS goes down. Bitcoin goes up and SPS stays or it goes back down, right? But there are other catalysts that will cause SPS to move regardless of Bitcoin's price. And we've seen that in the past with the launch of Rebellion and the launch of Land 1.5. So we have some of those catalysts coming up. And I want to talk about the first major pump, we'll call it, right? Now, you can probably include Land 1.75 on this just because it seems as though it's going to be roughly around the same time, if I would say plus or minus 8 weeks or 2 months. So there could be an element of like a ton of DEC burning, a ton of DEC utility that takes a lot off of the marketplace, takes a lot out of circulation, and then helps to get us into a better place. But really, the main thing, the one that's guaranteed and the one that is coming up with, not a particularly set date, but we know that it's going to be around April, right? Land in March, and then April, May-ish timeframe will be Conclave Arcana, is the Conclave Arcana presale. Now, I have expectations that maybe are a little lofty, but I do believe that we can move, the entire, 650,000 packs that are going to be part of the Conclave Arcana presale. Now, that in total, right, because some of these packs are going to be worth way more for like the gold foil packs or the legendary packs. Those are going to be, or like this entire thing is going to be 4.4 billion DEC worth of volume. Now, if I remember correctly, the Rebellion one was anywhere between like 2 to 2.5 billion DEC worth of volume. And we did that, right? We got within like 8,000 packs. And the reason it's 2 to 2.5 is because people could use a voucher, which they probably did. So it's probably closer to 2 billion. But if you wanted to pay 5,000 DEC, you could have without a voucher. So point is that we did 2 billion worth of volume. That was in October of 2023. Like Bitcoin was still in like the 20K range, 25K range. We didn't have the ETF. Like the market wasn't booming the way that it was. We didn't know what the 2024 election would bring. So there was a lot of uncertainty then, and people still came through and purchased quite a bit. So my expectations, I don't think, are unrealistic for us to do something similar to that, or actually it would be double that of the 4.4 billion. Considering the fact that people have made a lot of money, whether it's in Bitcoin, whether it's in, meme coins that have popped off, or even Solana, right, that's done well in that time frame, over the last like 18 months, we'll call it. And so my guess is that we can, or at least have a good shot of getting to that 4.4 billion DEC worth of volume and covering all those packs for the presale. Now, again, that doesn't mean 4.4 billion are going out of circulation. Only half of that would, right? So 2.2 billion would be going into the DAO, because keep in mind, half goes to the DAO, half goes to the team, and the team is going to recirculate that back into the mix. But 4.4 billion, you can see here that there's only 5.4 billion DEC that's out there in circulation right now. And if you remove what's on land, which is close to 1.5 billion, it's less than 4 billion total that's in circulation, whether that's in players, whether that's in pools, whether that's, I think that might even include the DAO, right? So there's even less out there that's available. If you take out land and you take out the DAO, and land might even increase in March. And that's what I was referring to at the beginning. So there's a lot of potential utility, which means a lot of potential, SPS buying and burning, which could lead to that flywheel action that we saw with the launch of Land 1.5 and Rebellion in Q4 of 2023. So that is the first aspect of this, and where the price goes from where it is now, 0.7 cents up to wherever, I have no idea. On stream, I gave a price of like, if we can go and not quite do a 10x, but we'll call it like a 7x, right? If we can go from 0.7 up to 5 cents, like around 7 to 8x, we'll call it. I think that at 5 cents, the game changes dramatically, because all of a sudden people in Champion who are earning 40 SPS per win, 40 plus SPS per win in Modern Champion, all of a sudden they're getting like $2 a win. They're making $25 a day just on playing the game. And that's not even including any extra energy that they get or that they pay for. Like, that narrative will start to take off, in my opinion, the same way that Axie Infinity did. And you'll start to see people come in, scholars, like the whole gambit, right? I think that could really change things, just getting SPS to 5 cents. Now, will this move over the next couple of months actually get us to 5 cents? I have no idea. That's my hope, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, the second pump, right, which again, this one is not confirmed, and I even use confirmed in quotes, right, because the first one isn't confirmed, but the second pump is, in my opinion, going to be whenever the gaming narrative takes off, whenever alt season starts to really take shape. My guess is that if it does happen, it'll be in the second half of the year, right? So similar to what we saw with the Axie Infinity pump in mid 2021, all the way through the end of the year. Splinterlands was obviously a big part of that with the launch of the SPS airdrop at that time, and all gaming tokens were really popping off. So as it stands right now, things still seem really slow. Obviously, we're just a couple of days into the new administration, but Bitcoin's just been hanging out around like the 90 to 100K place for a while. We'll have to wait and see if things really start to pick up. And if they do, when they do, right, alt season tends to follow that. But even still, alt season has looked really weird this time around. There's a lot of meme coins popping off. Solana's doing well. I mean, maybe Solana flips ETH, who knows, right? And maybe Solana becomes then the indicator of like a true alt season. But either way, I do think that there will be something. At some point, there will be a rotation into altcoins, right? For better or for worse, there will be that rotation. Now, whether the narrative is gaming, whether it's AI, who knows what it is, but people will be looking further out on the risk curve as we get, deeper into the bull market, and, maybe Bitcoin is setting new all-time highs again, and whatever the case is. So when that happens, I do think Splinterlands will benefit, right? I do think that we will correlate somewhat well with the rest of the market at that point, and especially if we've set a good standard for ourselves during the first pump, which is one that we are in control of, then who knows how high the ceiling can go. Now, I've said this in the past, and again, these are not my price predictions; these are just price targets that I'm hoping we can hit, right? There's no like fundamentals or anything behind it. It's just the reasoning is, right? I talked about the 5 cents, and again, 5 cents was more arbitrary. If and when we get, like, I've said that my blow off top hope, not prediction, but hope for SPS in 2025 or during this bull run is 10 cents, which is, I know some people are gonna look at that and be like, whoa, like really, it's that low? And it's like, well, it's more than a 10x, right? It's like a 15x from where we're at right now. But the reason is because I base that on the market cap. So if we can get, as you can see here, actually this they messed up the SPS thing here, but we're probably like anywhere between like a 10 to a $12 million market cap at this point. But considering the fact that there's like 1.6 to 1.7 billion SPS out in the ecosystem, if we were to get to 10 cents, we would get close, right? We'll say like 10 to 12 cents, around that range. We'll get close to where we were from a market cap all-time high from the previous cycle, right, in 2021, which is why that number range, right, or that price range of, we'll just call it 10 to 12 cents, is going to be interesting for me to watch, because it's like, well, are we going to be one of the projects that really goes above and beyond this time around, or are we just going to kind of top out at the same place where, price of the individual tokens is still down 90%, but the market cap is the same, right? We suffered from a ton of inflation, which we're not the only project. That happens to every project, but you get my point. So those are the two times, or the two pumps, that I think are going to happen in 2025. Again, is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is not financial advice. Don't take any of this. Take it all with a grain of salt, right? But we know that one is coming in terms of the launch of Conclave Arcana, and then Land 1.75 kind of in conjunction with that. And then the second one, hopefully will come at some point that can really build upon that first one. I don't know that the first one, I don't know that the second one, right, meaning that like the market pump ends up happening before the Conclave Arcana pump. I mean, who knows, right? We could see maybe things just had a little bit of a delayed start here in 2025, but all of a sudden they take off in February and all of a sudden everything's happening at the same time. That could be the case, but I don't know. I'm not seeing that right now, and we'll have to wait and see how things play out. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Just wanted to share those different time frames. And again, I don't know when, or sorry, not time frames, but those different catalysts. I don't know the time frames for them outside of, you know, what we've heard so far with Land and Conclave Arcana, but keep in mind delays happen and things happen like that. And then of course we'll have to see what happens with this raging bull market we were promised in 2025, or if it ends up just being a Bitcoin bull market, which I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case either. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.